Well. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks, the round 3 edition of the playoffs. D1 quarterfinals, D2 semifinals on tap this week, and the season is quickly dwindling to the final 3 weeks, guys. Joe, Scott, Cam, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chris.
Yeah, this is a gentleman.
It
It begins already. It begins already.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody, and Matt. Yeah. This admittedly is a week that I think we have been looking forward to for the better part of 2 years, given the games that are on tap with our spotlight game, especially. We'll get to that one between Beach and Page here in a little while. But there are others that are certainly worthy of our attention as well. And these brackets, some a bit chalkish, but there are some surprises too, which I think is a good thing for the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if there's anything that we've learned, is that, the great thing about high school football is that they have to play the games, and there's always going to be a surprise somewhere along the line.
Yeah, and it's fair to say, you can say it honestly once you get in the postseason, but it means a lot more now that everybody that's left is a good football team. They're here for a reason. There's not a team that has lucked into being in the Elite Eight of their classification, or in D2 purposes, the Final Four. So teams are here for a reason. They've worked for it. Some of them may have. Sometimes the ball does bounce your way, but they've definitely had to put in the work to be at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to it. Let's get into those rankings real quick, Joe, and we'll start with large class. Not a ton to really change, but if anything.
No, I mean, it's been like this for a couple weeks now, and I mean, all these teams have played each other. They haven't played each other, but they all keep winning. Oakland plays Green Hill this week. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. But Brentwood Academy, real good chance to make it to state this week, and then Ravenwood and Blackman just keep on winning. So we'll see how things go. It's a big week, especially for the large class teams. But yeah, for the most part, it's remained chalky.
I think a burning question for me is, now that CPA has knocked Ensworth out and they get a shot at BA, what if the Lions do the almost unthinkable and make it to Chattanooga?
They'd have to definitely be a top 5 team at that point, just with what they've done over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would look awfully weird given the record, but the body of work in the postseason would be.
And Ingle Martin would definitely be in the large class coach of the year conversation.
He would be having the last laugh probably in that situation too, given all that's going on. But yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. But BA is going to have a big say about that, and the way they played against NBA last week. Yeah, that's a tall order for CPA to go there and keep it going. But they've got a shot, and that's really all you can ask of them.
Sure.
To medium class, same cast of characters here.
Yeah, massive games for each team this week. Procone with a lengthy road trip down to Marshall County. BGA with a lengthy road trip to Boyd. Sorry, we'll talk about that game in a bit, because at some point you just don't give BGA any motivation. You don't give them anything to work with, but they did. They surely did.
We will get to more of that. We'll get a little bit deeper on that. Yeah, a little bit.
But obviously, go ahead.
I got to say, Marcelli, it was good to see you.
Absolutely.
I know you wanted to see Camper a little bit, and he wasn't with us, but
guess where he graduated from, Joe?
Here we go.
Marcelli's from Narnia?
Marcelli is from Narnia.
100%.
Yeah. The big one this week, though, number 1 versus number 4. We'll talk about it. It's too big of a game not to talk about.
Yeah. There's a lot to talk about with all of these teams. I mean, really, I think if you had to look between the large and medium and the small classes, the biggest chunk of the conversation is with these teams here right now.
Correct.
Pearls. I was just going to say Pearl's got a big game too. So it's
right, exactly. I think we're going to mention them too. So yeah, Matt. Yes, you do. There's work to be done, but I have faith in you. I have faith in you to be able to raise your tailgate game to the level that apparently BA is trying to do. So and Cam, where's the pink cup?
I got the Predators Cup tonight.
We're going gold. Okay, fair enough.
Jordan Taylor, my buddy Jordan out in West Tennessee. I will be out in West Tennessee this week. I'm going back to where I've been, or I started out down here. So I'll be out in Medina.
All right, let's go with the small class real quick. I'm actually gonna backtrack here and do this. There we go. PCA jumps in the top 5 this week after knocking off Friendship Christian.
Yeah, a well-deserved win. Also, oversight on my part. I didn't have East Nashville in the rankings last week. Don't know what happened there, but definitely top 5 team. God, the games that these teams play this week are also just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild.
Oh yeah,
they're all big at this point, but yeah, this is the time of year we all look forward to for this exact reason because they're just massive games all around.
Yeah, and the matchups are pretty much all really good.
Mm-hmm. The have-nots are gone now. It's all the teams that deserve to be here.
Yep.
Let's
talk 3 stars of the week, shall we? As always, you can go right now to 615preps.com and vote for the 3 stars of the week for week number 13. And before you do that, why don't you take a look at the ones from week 12 that we've got honored. Mitchell Granging from Centennial, the 1st star of the week. Pearl Cones Landon Left is the 2nd star, and Riverdale's Jacob Vaughn takes home 3rd star honors.
Yeah, you got some, Mitchell is carrying Centennial. Landon has had a great year, and then Jacob Vaughn's a sophomore for Riverdale that's going to have a huge next 2 seasons for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's just shown a glimpse of what his capabilities are going to be over the next couple of years. He's really good, and so has Landon Left, though. I mean, honestly, he in all phases of the game, defense, offense, special teams, he's definitely a stud out there.
This week's finalists, we'll start with East Nashville's Chauncey Anthony, who had 10 tackles, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, and had an interception in their win at Fairleigh 28-20. Jared Curtis for Nashville Christian, numbers-wise, maybe a lighter night than usual, but 6 of 8 passing, 72 yards, had 2 touchdowns, 6 carries, 58 yards, and 2 more scores. Also caught a touchdown pass as they took down that Jackson Christian squad 42-14. PCA's Porter Dedman, 85 yards rushing on 8 carries, 2 touchdowns, had 2 catches for 38 yards in a score, and accounted for both touchdowns for PCA in the overtime sessions. Had 4.5 tackles and the interception in that big win over Friendship Christian. Caden Powell from Beach, 4 of 6 passing, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 9 carries for 102 yards and 2 more scores in their win over Munford. East Robertson, Zach Groves, 19 carries, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. They won 35-14 over Peabody. Cade Marable, your weekly update on him, 14 of 16 passing, 213 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 carries, 109 yards in a score in their 42-14 win over Grace Christian out of Knoxville. FRA's Jack Nimitz, 20 of 24 through the air, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 carries for 39 yards in a score as they beat Silverdale 49-19. His teammate Amari Sanders, 8 catches for 241 yards and 4 touchdowns. Also had 5 tackles and recovered a fumble in that win for the Panthers. And then Beach's DK Williams, 19 tackles and 6 carries for 24 yards. The offensive numbers really don't matter. They're 19 tackles.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he may be leading the state in tackles. I know at one point he was averaging like 12 or 13 a game. So just an outstanding junior year for DK.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So a couple pairs of teammates on this list. You can go to 615 Preps Live or 61preps.com through noon on Friday to vote for those 3 stars of the week for next week. We are live, though, so it's not a lie. FRA's offense is going to get the line of the week honor, Scott.
Yeah, their offense racked up 603 yards of total offense, 424 through the air, 179 on the ground, 27, count them, 27 first downs, no sacks allowed, only 1 tackle for loss allowed. That's a pretty doggone good day for any offensive line. And for that reason, FRA offensive line is the line of the week.
Yeah, well deserved there. When you put up 600 yards, that's certainly going to put you in, at least in the conversation, if not at the top of it. And it does this week for the Panthers. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to our 3 stars of the week for week 12 and to even the finalists for this week. So make sure you go vote.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Real quickly, let's tell you about our fine sponsors at AccuWorks. In just a second as I pull up my script. AccuWorks is a full-service property damage restoration company that offers around-the-clock emergency service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the past 20 years in Middle Tennessee. Jeff Stockton and his team of industry veterans specialize in restoration projects for your home or business, fire restoration, smoke cleaning, water damage, and mold remediation, storm damage restoration, general contracting, and much more. Our commitment is to assess each situation quickly and correctly to provide you a sufficient and complete restoration plan that meets your specific needs. AccuWorks performs emergency service and restoration for property owners across Middle Tennessee. With locations in Nashville and near you, our professional staff are minutes away from helping with your property damage emergency. Quality work, professionalism, and integrity have been the backbone of our company since 2006. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. All right, gentlemen, you guys can come off mute and we'll do what needs to be done and apologize. All right. Would anybody like to volunteer to go first tonight?
I think
Scott doesn't have to. We'll tell you why in a minute. But
I think Cam and I just kind of looking at how he did last week. There's only one area team he and I need to apologize to. And that's PCA.
Well, then you two can do it together.
And I guess you could do it too, or who are you apologizing to?
Well, I got other choices. I'm an idiot, so
okay, that's fair. Cam?
Well, I mean, you could apologize to Centennial.
Absolutely not.
Right. I'll apologize, Centennial. Cam, you go with PCA.
All right, Cam, you're up.
Yeah, PCA. Not the first time I've been wrong about you guys this year. May not be the last. Hopefully, it's not the last. Unfortunately for you, good for you guys, bad for me. But yeah, just a great program changing type win for you guys on Friday. Definitely the biggest win in program history since joining 11-man football. I've said in the past, it's not a matter of if, but when in that location in Murfreesboro where you guys are at. You've been able to do it on the hardwood for winning the basketball championship last year. You're 1 win away. Best of luck to you this week against the Bruins from USJ, and hope to see you guys in Chattanooga. And sorry, I got it wrong.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, Centennial. My bad. Mitchell Grangine, my bad. I just thought, going all the way out to Memphis Central would be too tall of a task, and I got it wrong. And excited to see what you guys do this week against Henry County on the road yet again. We're true road warriors, so would love to see this team make a run to state with everything they've had going on the last couple of weeks. Nice to see them overcome that adversity. And Mitchell Grandjean, I knew he was a baller last year. Happy to see him continue doing it with Cougars.
Yeah, these three have the other three that I could apologize to. So I'm gonna set Scott up. I too will apologize to CPA because I didn't believe. Apparently, as one that has followed the CPA program for a while and knows Engel Martin's memo basically in November, and I didn't believe. Well, y'all made me a believer, and now you get to go play for a chance to go to a state championship game, even after all the crap you've been through. Rawls Patterson, apparently you are a bionic man, and hats off to you for playing just a couple of weeks after being on the operating table. Hats off to you, my man. CPA, well done. And CPA fans, y'all need to absolutely go to our YouTube page at 9:00 tonight because you get to see Scott's apology, which is much more epic than anything I could ever put together. Trust me, you're going to want to watch it.
It's cinema.
It's absolute cinema.
It was bad decision on my part.
Chose to do it.
You did choose to do it. And
let's face it, my decision making hasn't been great this year in a lot of respects.
Perhaps you shouldn't reveal your plan to me on the sideline of the game. I might hold you to it.
Yeah, that's
one of these days. One of these days, you'll learn.
Yeah, keep saying that, and I keep walking into it.
Well, this time you just sat on it, and trust me, folks,
true.
Folks, it's worth watching. It really is. All right, let's.
Especially for Engel.
Yeah. Oh, Engel's gonna love it. And I don't know why I'm still on the other plate here, but that's okay. All right, let's switch gears and look at some brackets.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look quickly at 1A. Coalfield at Sale Creek, Clay County, South Pittsburgh. Kind of what we expected almost.
Outside of Sale Creek, for sure. I'm not sure anybody really had Sale Creek making this sort of run.
Yeah.
Really impressed by them. Coalfield, really, really good team, though. I think season comes in for Sale Creek this week. And then South Pitt, Clay County. It's going to be really interesting to see if Clay County can do anything against South Pitt.
Good question.
Yeah.
Classifications we think has the best teams coming up. Well, we'll get to it.
We can answer that after we go through the brackets.
Yeah. This ain't it.
Not quite.
But I agree. Now, I mean, Clay County does have the offense that could push South Pittsburgh to the brink, definitely. But South Pittsburgh's defense has been playing awfully well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've given up 51 points in 12 games. So super, super talented on the defense side of the ball. They have multiple Mr. Football semifinalists on the team. They're extremely loaded. There's no doubt about it. Clay County's got their work cut out for them. Yeah. They need a absolute massive game from Nolan Adams to have a chance.
Yeah.
Western side of 1A's got McKenzie at Richland and Middle College traveling to Fayetteville.
And that Richland-McKenzie game, I mean, a lot of people are saying, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. I was probably one of them. But the more I see of that Richland team, the more I like them. That one could be a very, very good game.
It's a long freaking trip for McKenzie.
It is, and I think McKenzie needs to I think it's pretty, as Scott said, it's well conceived that most people think McKenzie's the favorite in that game, and they probably are, rightfully so. But in this type of scenario, a long road trip, a team that, is a really quality football team in Richland, if McKenzie comes out of the gate slow, that could spell trouble for them. They need to come out and be ready to play from the get-go.
It's a long trip for McKenzie, but not nearly as long as Memphis Middle College is going to go to Fayetteville. That's nearly double for them.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's a long way to go to
Yeah, and that's a Fayetteville team that has scored a lot of points this year. Now they've given up a lot of points this year too, but definitely a fun team to watch.
They're a different beast at home.
And they're playing their best ball coming down the stretch, which is a little scary.
Yep. 2A has Eagleton and Bledsoe County and Gordonsville on the way to Marion County in Eastern half.
Yeah, the big one here is Marion County, Gordonsville. Can the Tigers knock off the defending champs? We'll see.
Yeah, it's complementary football. Gordonsville this year has been able to, when the offense has not been there, the defense has been good enough. When the defense has given up some points, the offense has scored a ton of points. It's complementary football all the way around. They're extremely well coached. Jasper is a extremely tough place to go win in the postseason. Work cut out for them. Weather may play a factor in this one. May turn it into a between the trenches rock fight. I mean, it might be 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of mud in this case, but it could be a very, very quick game in Jasper on Friday.
A cloud of mud. We call that something else around here.
Right.
How this Eagleton program, Cam, you saying it was a new school. How new is that?
If I'm not mistaken, it's year 4 or 5, I believe, of the program.
And
it's actually like a college prep school, if I'm not mistaken, sort of like a Merle Hyde is in Hendersonville.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. And
already starting to see a lot of those pop up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very quick ascension to the quarterfinals for that program at Eagleton. Mm-hmm. Western half, East Robertson at Huntington, East Nashville at Milan.
This could be this could easily be in the discussion, at least this half of the bracket for the best bracket.
I think it's right up there.
It is. I think to me, when it comes to quarterfinals matchups in particular, this is the best slot of games.
Yeah.
I mean, East Robertson having to go to Huntington, and that's and with the weather playing possibly playing a factor.
Well, both of those games will be played on turf.
Yeah, but if you can't, it just depends on if you can throw the ball in that game. It may have a factor in it, but that's going to be good. And then Milan, East Nashville, and East Nashville is just, don't let that record fool you. They loaded up early.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. So, Jaden Pete at Milan is an extremely talented football player on both sides of the ball. He's not done as much on offense this season. Still been very, very good at his linebacker spot on defense. It's going to be interesting to see if Milan starts to go to him during the home stretch here with a little bit fresher legs than, say, he would have had since like last year. Last year, he was kind of their bell cow. And this year, they're a little bit more balanced. They throw the football a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting to see if Milan tries to rely on Pete to beat and kind of slow down that East Nashville team and keep them on the sideline.
Yeah, I think he went off last week. I believe he played both sides of the ball, and did it very well. Somebody asked, how is East Robertson traveling? It's just the way the bracket works this year.
Yep.
It's predetermined based on the year, whether it's an odd numbered year or an even numbered year. If it's an odd numbered year, the top team in the bracket in the quarters and the semis host. If it's an even numbered year, it would be the bottom team. If they're in the same region, it reverts back to seeding, but they're not. So that's why East Robertson is on the road.
And I believe there's a board of control meeting tomorrow where this will be discussed.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's something that needs to be on the table for change, because there are several top seeds that are traveling that shouldn't be.
Right.
But at least in the case, going back and looking at the mileage for some of these teams, this round's not bad. The second round was a lot longer travel statewide than this round ends up being. So I think East Robertson's like 147 miles. No, that's kind of common for the playoffs, so it's not really a big travel deal there for them. On to 3A, where Meigs County will travel to Gatlinburg-Pittman, and Giles County will hit the road to travel to Tyner in the eastern half.
Yeah, these are two really good games too, actually.
Yeah.
Pittman Meigs is going to be a battle, and then Tyner. Can Giles County get their offense going against the Tyner defense that has struggled at times this year?
Yeah, we talked last week about, Giles County, them getting that forfeit win over Chattanooga Central, that it could backfire on them, and that was polar opposite. They come out and was ready to play. They ended the season very, very hot, beating the Sequatchie County team to win their region. If they'd lost that Sequatchie County game, I believe they would have finished third in the region. So it's very interesting the way that region shook out, I guess you would say. But yeah, this one is right there with that 2A, in my opinion. These are two stylistic matchups that are just identical. Gatlinburg-Pittman and Meigs County, going to be a very, very physical football game. Tyner, Giles County is going to be spread you out, try to get people in space. It's going to be athlete versus athlete. It's going to be very, very fun to watch.
Yeah.
Western half has Dyersburg at Covington and Melrose at Westview.
Yeah, we're not in West Tennessee, but to see the talk on Facebook in particular between Melrose and Westview, all kudos to Melrose. They've had a great year. Their only loss is to Memphis Central, but you're talking a whole lot for a team that got smacked in the state championship last year, and you're probably playing a better team this year in Westview.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to speak on the top game first. It's always tough to beat a good team twice. That Dyersburg-Covington game was, I think, a 16-point game in the regular season, 31-15 or something like that. Dyersburg offensive explosion last week against Fairview. That is a semi-trap game for Covington. Covington having that game at home is a huge advantage for sure. Still probably lean Covington in that game. And then as far as the bottom half, listen, they've been talking it for a long time. But I'll go back to an old saying: get on that horse, you better be able to ride it.
Well, Dyersburg has been the one team that I thought might be the dark horse, that one team that gets on a run, and they did that against Fairview. And Cam, you're absolutely right. If Covington's not on point, Dyersburg and that offense, which is it's different. They can put points on you. I think that game is probably a little bit better game than what it might look like on paper.
Eastern half of 4A. Call it the bracket of death, and 3 to 4 teams here to tell you why. Alcoa goes to Red Bank, and then Anderson County's on the road to Greenville. Good luck.
Yeah, that's a state championship quality football game in Greenville and Anderson County right there.
Yep.
And it's just odd the way it shakes out. Yes, Upperman had to go on the road and beat a good Upperman team last week. Red Bank has had a great season. Austin Jones transferred from Chattanooga Prep, leading them at quarterback. Talley's had an unbelievable postseason. I believe he's put up 200 yards rushing in both games. But Alcoa is a different beast. It's definitely, if Alcoa got to pick if they played Red Bank, Anderson, or Greenville in the quarters, they're very happy to be playing Red Bank instead of the other two. So, this is another loaded top half, and Greenville, Anderson County is going to put on a classic.
And say what you want to about Alcoa, but if they do get back to the state championship game, they will have done it without the benefit of home playoff games for 3 weeks.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, out of their runs that they've made, to me, I know they don't like me. It is what it is. You guys are immature as hell for calling me out after a state championship win last year. Grown men, by the way. But this is impressive. I mean, it is. If they make this run, going to Baxter last week, beating Upperman by how they did is impressive.
Yep.
You beat Red Bank. Red Bank's on a really good run right now. And then you beat the winner of Greenville, Anderson County. It's more than deserved.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it just proves that you could play up at that level.
Yeah, and it was never through none of Joe's comments, none of any of our comments towards Alcoa has ever been ill will towards any kids, even the coaches.
No.
It's more so about you play Maryville every year. Good for you. You play Knox West, which was the state champion in 5A a couple years ago. You play these teams. Why would you not play up? Challenge yourself.
Yeah, and consider the playoff competition that they saw in 3A all those years. You can count on one hand how many decent teams they played. Yeah. They didn't have any competition. Now they've got it, and they can take a long way toward earning back a lot of the respect that they lost in this run.
Yeah, maybe their fans will actually show up to Chattanooga this year, having it be a little more rewarding.
Had a very good turnout at Upperman.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I still really like this Greenville team, though. I think this team is
they're extremely balanced. They're a juggernaut on offense. They're physical up front. They got good size. Their one loss is to Sevier County and Double OT, and they kind of gave it away.
They did.
If everything holds to form, that Greenville Alcoa matchup is going to be special.
Oh boy, yeah. That absolutely would be a splendid semifinal if that was to hold up. Yeah. Western half, it's Pearl Cone at Marshall County, and Springfield at South Gibson.
Yeah, I think one of these games will be really good. I'm not trying to be. South Gibson, I know, is a great program. This is a great run they've been on. I remember when Coach Stidham was there, they would make these sort of runs just because he's a really good coach. They got a really good coach there. The problem I think they're going to have, and we saw it last week with Lexington, is if you just want to run the ball against Springfield, that ain't going to work against the Drew Wilson defense. Not going to happen. Just ask Munford last year.
Yeah, the Springfield defense, they're not very big.
Nope.
They are pretty athletic. From the linebacker and the secondary aspect, they move so well, and they follow their keys. They're very, very, very fundamentally sound as far as knowing what to do, when to be there, and executing. That's the big thing, and that comes from preparation. You know, that Springfield is by far one of the most prepared teams in the Middle Tennessee area, and it shows on game nights. They don't make a ton of mental mistakes. So it's one of those things. They still got to go on the road, which is tough to do. But if Springfield comes out and plays football, they should be okay. Pearl Cone, Marshall County, a much more intriguing matchup, in my opinion, just because nobody's really said much about Marshall County this year compared to last year.
To me, Pearl's getting screwed here. This is 3 straight games where they've had to go to Marshall County.
Yep.
This is where the bracket sucks.
Yep.
This is 3 straight games. This is 3 straight games versus Tyler Thompson too.
Yeah.
Still.
Tyler Thompson and his 2,100 yards passing and 300 yards rushing, his 28 touchdowns, and then if that's not enough, you got Todd Gardner.
Yeah, I was about to say he's not alone. They got a really good running back. This is going to be a great test for that Pearl Cone defense. They played really well since the Springfield game. They've rolled over everybody. Crockett County gave them a game though last week, and I think they needed that. You can't go in overconfident against this Marshall County team. Tyler Thompson's legit. We'll get to our picks in a little bit. I just like Pearl this year, man. They're so freaking good.
And they played, last week. It was like Oakland in that last regular season game against Riverdale when they were where Coach Creasy was happy that they had a team take them 4 quarters. Well, last week Crockett County took Pearl 4 quarters. It may have been enough to wake them up a little bit and get their mind focused on Marshall County and what they've got to do.
We're just seeing LJ Funk get better and better and better every week.
Yes.
That kid. I remember last year he was so raw. This year, the NBA game was a rough one for him. He's just gotten better and better each week. That Springfield game was the most impressive performance I've seen out of him.
Well, Joe, we saw him in the preseason against Overton, and we were both kind of, he looked the part, but his throws weren't off. He didn't throw with confidence, I didn't think. He is confident now, and his receivers trust him, and he trusts them, and that'll make a big difference.
5A on the east side, it's an all Knoxville quarterfinal with Knoxville Central and Knoxville Halls, and then Lincoln County on the road at Sevier County.
Go Lincoln County.
Yeah, Lincoln County, hell of a run.
Yeah, Lincoln County is on a really, really good run. Wish nothing but the best. I would like to see them pull off the upset here for my former middle school gym teacher, now athletic director at Lincoln County, Jason Dobbs. So rooting on the Falcons. In that bottom matchup, Knox Halls and Knox Central played an absolute classic in the regular season on a rivalry Thursday. Knox Central picks up I think it was a 34-31 win. They scored with like 20 seconds left to go on a 4th and 17, and they fit the ball into a tight window down the sideline. The safety comes over and smacks the receiver, but doesn't wrap up, and the receiver tiptoes into the end zone and then collapses because he got the total crap knocked out of him. But Knox Central, I've said it a couple times, but this is a team that just finds ways. They've been finding ways to win. They're kind of reminding me of that Sevier County team from last year.
Yeah, Lincoln County to me had the best win almost out of. There were 3 teams I think last week that had just incredible wins: Lincoln County, PCA, and CPA. Lincoln County to go to PAL and do what they did there. Highly impressive win right there. I had PAL playing for a state title.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
Now the western half, where it's Centennial on the road at Henry County, and then Beach and Page.
There we go.
Everybody take care of business.
Settle in.
Take care of business, Cougars.
Let's talk about Centennial and Henry County first, because that's the game everybody wants to hear about. I think it's a great game. I do think it's a great game. This is a game I flip-flopped on a lot because I just think Centennial's just hot right now, but Henry County is too. And to go to Paris, it's not easy.
No, it's a tough place to play. Very tough place to play.
No, just ask the region mates in Nolensville who found it out fourth quarter last week.
Yep.
We can skip over that. We can skip over that top game, right?
I mean, right? Yeah, we can go on. We don't have to worry about that. You know?
Nobody cares about that.
That one beach fan on Instagram's losing his mind right now.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's the game of the week. It's the game of the week. It's the game we've been wanting for the last couple of years.
Hey, listen. It's real simple to comparison. You hear us make wrestling wrestling jokes and kind of tie this into wrestling. This is our Roman versus Rock. Okay, yeah. We finally are getting it.
Yeah,
Chris. There you go. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. I got you from the start there on that one.
No, it's a fantastic game. Springfield robbed us of last year by going to Beach and blowing them out there. Paige has looked really good all year. Yeah. Honestly, the 2 games where these 2 teams didn't look their best, week 1, and since then they both kind of rolled. Paige really hasn't had any close calls. Beach has had a couple. But, I mean, it's going to be fun. And this game being in Rudderville, we're not doing score predictions yet. We will get to those later on. We have a lot more show to do.
Yeah. This matchup, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but as far as the way I picked my score, I couldn't tell if this was going to be a 14-7 or if this was going to be a 35-28. Because they're stylistically, I think it could go either way. It just depends on how the game falls.
Yeah.
Winner of this game wins state to me.
That's what I'm thinking. But this is this one was a tough one for me to pick, and when we get into it, I'll say why. But You're right, Joe. I mean, a couple of slow starts, and then all of a sudden these teams, have balled out. Page stumbled a little bit with in the first half against Independence. Beach had some issues here and there with stumbling, but other than that, they played pretty solid. And Beach's defense, which at the beginning of the year looked like a possible liability, has just gotten better and better and better.
Yep. Yeah, it's just one of those things that this group has kind of found their lane and they've stuck to it. And honestly, it's a TV game as well. So if you're not going to be at a game, you can catch it on my TV 30 this week. Scott, you and I will be there for this one, and boy,
so
we're ready for it.
And we'll be shooting. And if there's that R word out there, watch our stuff, please. We're going to have to wear rain gear.
Oh, don't. Why'd you say it? Why'd you have to say
You said the R word and then gonna say the word.
Yeah,
you said the thing.
The R word's out there and then immediately says it.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. All year I've been apologizing to people and then picking against them. You just can't tell with me.
Well, guess what? Yeah. Interesting. That particular prediction will come up shortly. In fact, he's going to be on with us here in a little bit to make that prediction live. So stay tuned for that. In fact, I probably need to invite him here just a second.
If he doesn't have to go into witness protection.
Well, they might. If it happens again, who knows?
He may get casted off as being a Buccaneer and have to turn into a Pirate.
He might be exiled.
Yeah. Never can tell. Never can tell with KJ.
No, he's been a wild card this year.
He may have to stay in Alabama.
It's possible. I mean, who knows? Shelton and DK may not let him back on the field. All right, let's go to 6A while we still have enough breath to do so. Maryville goes to Blackman and Green Hills at Oakland.
Yeah, it's Green Hill kids aren't going to like our picks. Coach Crouch will. It's the ultimate motivation right there. But, I mean,
he's probably hoping we go the way we're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You're on the road at Oakland. Oakland doesn't lose at home. Kevin Creasy doesn't lose in the playoffs. Oakland is Oakland.
Well, we said this on Saturday, and this is not a knock at all towards Green Hill or anything like this, because the fact is when you shake up the bracket like this, it tends to fall for certain teams that, if it was the traditional way, it would have been totally different for. Green Hill is the perfect example of that, and I think that it's worked out great for them. And this is ultimately what Coach Crouch couldn't ask for more. I mean, yes, he's got to play Oakland, but guess what? Under the old format, he would have had to play Oakland at some point anyway. So,
he's potentially around earlier.
We said it on Saturday too. He's got one game. Herb Brooks watched the movie and recite the speech word for word. It's that simple. One game. You have to beat Oakland one time.
I'm going to address this just to address Instagram comments. We've already talked about certain games. Don't tell us to go talk about certain games. We're going class by class. We've already talked about 5A. We're on to 6A. We'll get to the Division 2 games in a little bit. We go class by class.
And after we do you want to do it before or after the top 10 games where we'll answer questions of games that are not?
Yeah.
We can just do it after. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
well,
fine.
the thing is that Green Hill, this is what you played for. It's the best against the best. You were number one. Oakland was number one. This is where you want to be, and it's up to you to take care of business. It's you can't hope for. I mean, it would be nice if Bradley Central or Cookville would have upset them. Yeah, that's a bonus, but you knew you were going to be in this position in all likelihood. So this is the task in front of you. Yes, Oakland, I believe this is 11 in a row that they have won in the where are we at?
Quarters.
My notes are
Second
quarters.
round.
Thank you. I knew it started with no, it's quarters. I knew it started with a Q. But it's 11 straight. They've not lost a quarterfinal game in 11 straight tries. But you're Green Hill, you know that. So you go in there. All the pressure's on Oakland. here.
Mm-hmm.
You can play loose if you're Green Hill because you're a very large underdog. And the same thing with Blackman here. The same thing with Blackman. You can play loose and play your game and play Maryville. All the pressure's on Maryville and Oakland in this because they're going to be such, big favorites going into this weekend.
Hawks by 300, spot the ball, Coach Crouch.
Nice.
I mean, if you're Green Hill, this is the game you want, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to play the best, and as we say, as the man once said, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
This is why they scheduled who they scheduled this year.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, exactly right.
It absolutely is.
Exactly right.
And then, I mean, we got to talk Maryville Blackman. To me, it's such an interesting game.
It really is.
Blackman getting to host Maryville at home. Your offense has got to be super consistent here because Maryville's going to put up points. Their offense is way too good.
They are going to put up points, but do they put up the same amount that they put up on Riverdale? I don't think so. But Will Jones is a very, very talented quarterback. He can run and pass. Blackman's front seven has to wreak havoc, and when they get him, they have to tackle him because he is very elusive. He likes to extend plays and find guys downfield. Blackman has the defense to beat Maryville. Can they score enough to beat Maryville?
Yeah, I mean, I think this Blackman defense can keep this thing relatively close. If they can just stay within shouting distance for a while, you never know what kind of break might come your way.
Yep.
Right.
And being at home certainly doesn't hurt.
And they've got a good kicker. So, I mean, if they can keep this into a 3-point game, they stand a chance.
Yeah. Let's jump ship to the western side where Ravenwood's on the road at Whitehaven, and another one of those why are they traveling situations, and then Southwind the same deal there at Collierville.
Just garbage that they have to travel. So dumb.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Didn't Southwind beat Collierville this year? Why is Southwind on the road?
Yeah.
They're not in the same region.
They're not, but
Right,
still,
but
I mean,
Southwind beat Collierville.
there has to be some merit to it. I mean, just because it's 2025 and not 2026.
I think they beat them. I could be dumb. But I don't know. I guess they didn't. But to me, it makes no sense. Just makes no sense. It is what it is, but it's so stupid.
You're talking about how the 2-12-0 teams have to go on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, the
Ravenwood's egregious because it's a 1 seed traveling to a 3.
Yeah, it definitely is, Marcelli. Christopher Talley at Whitehaven is one of the more talented running backs in the state. It's going to be interesting to see if Whitehaven can get blockers up onto the linebackers for Ravenwood. That's what's going to determine that. Ravenwood's linebackers and safeties are extremely talented. Matthew Anderson should have been a Mr. Football semifinalist. Trying to block that dude is almost next to impossible. And then you got Pollard. Do what?
You're going to need a whole lot more than him to beat Ravenwood.
Yes. Yeah.
And offensively, Ravenwood comes at you from so many different directions that,
Maverick Chance may be the most he's a unicorn. That's the best way I know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I see him in a couple of years tearing up Notre Dame's defense for Navy, so it's fine.
I already have nightmares about that.
He reminds me of Keenan Reynolds with that.
Yes.
That Navy. He reminds me of Keenan Reynolds.
Pasture.
Absolutely.
Very similar. A guy that's going to go play quarterback at Navy for a few years and then wind up in the NFL being a tight end or a receiver or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
On to Division II. The semifinals are upon us in the private schools with Providence Christian at home against USJ and then Nashville Christian hosting Trinity Christian.
West Tennessee versus Middle Tennessee. Shame we don't have Michael Odom on tonight. He's covering basketball. Loser. But USJ, just really, really good football team. They got a really good running back, really good quarterback. They've taken care of business all but one game this year. And then PCA, man, make some history. Do the damn thing at Floyd Stadium. Give that stadium something to root about because they haven't for a while now. And then TCA going to Nashville Christian. Can they keep up with Jared Curtis and TJ Ward? The Lions can put up points. And I mean, defensively, they shut out MTCS last week, but it's a different beast going to Nashville Christian.
Yeah. Well, I expect that to be a good game, especially early. Trinity Christian puts up a absolute ton of points, and they're one of the teams that can. I don't want to say go blow for blow with Nashville Christian, but definitely keep it interesting.
Yeah, we saw Jared do a little bit of everything last week for Nashville Christian. I'm going to go out on a limb. It ain't much of a limb, but I'm going to say TJ Ward has the game this week. I think with the weather, that could be playing a factor on a natural playing surface. I think TJ Ward goes for 200 and multiple scores.
I'll raise you one, Cam. I think Nashville Christian rushes for 400 yards as an offense.
Yeah, I was about to say because I could see Jared Curtis running for 200. So
I think there's 600 rushing yards in this game because I think TCA is going to be able to run the ball.
No,
and that game may be over in about an hour and a half.
Any more raises? Any more chips to put in there, guys? I mean, we'll deal with cards here.
600 yards.
All right, Double A's got FRA at home against Los Ann and Boyd Buchanan hosting BGA. Let's talk at Los Ann FRA first, and then we'll get to BGA in a second.
Okay.
FRA. Yeah, guys, and I'll start this just real simple. This is the game I'll be at on Friday night. Have not made a state championship appearance since 1991. Guys, none of you were alive. Who cares? Who cares about 1991? All right, go make your school history. Go get it done. It's that simple. I think you're the more talented football team. Go out there and take care of business.
Yep.
Let's not dismiss 1991 too much. It was a good year.
That was the year my mom graduated high school.
Children. I work with children.
What makes this game so dangerous for Lausanne is Amari Sanders is killing people on both sides of the ball right now.
Yeah.
And they got their quarterback in Jack Nimitz, and he loves throwing to zero. That just opens my castle. FRA is just playing so well right now. That's a big task for Lausanne to go on a road, go up on the hill, and be what should be one of the better environments Friday night. And if you think there's not a team more motivated to play for a state championship, FRA, they were right there last year, and just CPA was in their way.
Yeah, and you mentioned it last week when we were talking about Amari with another person from another outlet, but he's probably going to end up as an edge, potentially an outside linebacker. But when you see him right now and he's playing safety and receiver, especially when he's on defense and he lines up at safety, and you're just glancing across the defense and you look and there's a 6'4.5" safety out there, and you're like, what in the world is this? He's so long, and he's super athletic to boot. I mean, when you go to a high school football game, you can look and tell when a dude is different, and Amari Sanders is different.
Lausanne's offense reminds me a lot of somebody that FRA has seen before, and that is BGA. Their offense, TJ Jenkins brings an offense that's kind of eerily similar. He's racked up, 18 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, 400 yards rushing, 1,700 yards passing. They have a strong running back in Martarius Boyd, who averages about 11 yards carry, has 10 touchdowns. They've got 2 solid wide receivers. Does this sound like a team that we've heard of? that FRA might have seen before. And that 8-3 record, you can't let that fool you, because two of their losses, one was the 12-0 South win, the other one was 11-0 Westview. The other one was Germantown.
And they gave Westview a game.
Yeah.
They're the only team that's tested Westview.
Right. So FRA, on the good side, this was the BGA game was Jack Nemeth's coming out party, and that second half they did dominate, but Lausanne is a very, very dangerous offense.
All right, take a breath. Do whatever you got to do to prepare for this one, because now BGA is going to Boyd. And if a team that didn't need any additional motivation could get it, they got it this week.
Yeah, people question BGA's toughness after the FRA game. And fair, I guess, right?
Yeah.
FRA made it a rock fight. They pulled it out in the end. And I tweeted this out. I understand Gary Rankin's the GOAT. Yada, yada, yada. And I said this before the postseason. There is a talent gap. I don't care that you are unbeaten. You have not played BGA. You have not played FRA. I'm sorry. You just haven't. And if you want to see how tough BGA is, just go watch Fletcher Fields run last week.
Yeah.
Boyd's 11 opponents were a combined 55 and 70. Okay. So, BGA has definitely played the harder schedule and one more game and went against opponents that were 72 and 61. So, if you get any idea that the Wildcats don't play hard football, you're going to find yourself at the bottom of a dog pile covered in dog pile. I mean, honestly, I just think that, to discount BGA as less than a physical team is to, it's the court disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can call them out for their physicality and all of that good stuff. Guys, at the end of the day, when you look at BGA's 12 games, there's one outlier. One. And it's FRA. And that outlier being that is the only game where they did not have a 21-plus point lead at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is the only game that they did not score more than 21 points. They score a ton of points. They score them quickly, and it's over before it gets started.
Yeah.
For people asking, why is FRA hosting? I had a couple questions about that.
Yeah. So Division 2 is a little different than Division 1. The bottom half of the bracket is the designated side in Division 2. For whatever reason, it's different.
Yeah, and
because FRA, Boyd being a higher seed.
Yeah, Boyd's a 1, BGA is a 2, so Boyd will host. But FRA and Lausanne being 1, the bottom half hosts, which means FRA gets to host.
Yeah, it actually makes some semblance of sense in Division 2, which, as we all know, we don't know why. But
the hell no.
But back to BGA for a second. This is a team that already has a massive chip on his shoulder just from the FRA loss alone, not to mention, the way they lost the championship game last year. And to question their toughness, to say they're not tough enough or not physical enough, I can guarantee their offensive line's offended. Their front seven on defense is damn sure offended. And those skill players are going to be offended as well. There's a talent gap, like Joe said, in D2AA between 2 and 3, and BGA's not 3. Sorry to tell you. And there's a speed difference too. There's a speed difference too.
I will say this, though. It's imperative that BGA does not come in and go overboard into this physicality thing and just try to run the football. They need to run their offense, and they will be just fine.
Don't pull an Ohio State last year. Just play your game.
Not.
And I think they understand that. When you have a captain like Nate Fleming who's going to get these guys riled up and be like, hey, man, we just need to play our own freaking game.
Yeah.
We do that, we'll win this game by 35.
Their own game is physical enough as it is. I think there's not a question.
And at the end of the day, he is the GOAT. And I sent this in our group message, but he knows what he's doing.
Yes,
he knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to bait BGA into a trench war.
there's that, and it's also for his guys too, because I think he understands. You got to say something, especially when you may not necessarily have the most talented team of the field, and they don't.
And he
anybody that watches
literally
said
his game plan.
Yeah.
He said we don't need big plays. He said, "Give me 4 yards." That tells you he's going to try to take the air out.
Yep.
He's going to kill the clock. He's going to try to make this thing 21-14.
All I've got to say is, if it comes down to physical, go back and look at Max Curry against Knoxville Grace.
Right. Yeah.
Max caught one on the sideline and just absolutely trucked. I don't think that Knoxville Grace player may have forgotten the alphabet after Max hit him. It's just, I mean, things fell out of his head. But yeah, I agree. You know, it's one thing though, but that's the thing. It's one thing to say this and build your team up in practice. It's another thing to say it right out there in public.
Yeah. And it's a good game plan for Boyd until you punt twice.
Yep.
Then you're going to find yourself down 14-0, and you're not going to be able to run the ball like you want to. And that point, you are in major trouble.
My turn for a quote.
So they've got to finish. They must finish. They've got to finish drives. That's the key for Boyd. They do that, and then you stay in it.
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
I think Mike Tyson said that once.
Yes, he did.
Just
BGA,
not that clearly.
Yeah, BGA blew out the third best D2 team last week. So D2AA team last week. They'll be fine this week.
Yeah.
All right. Enough soapboxing for the week. Let's go to AAA. And the battle for Chattanooga, Baylor and McCallie. Baylor's going to host it, and then CPA is headed 5 miles east to Brentwood Academy.
One of them gets to enjoy their turkey.
Yeah. Just real fun fact, real quick. The average distance that the visiting teams are traveling in these two games is 7 miles.
Wild.
That's the average distance.
That's the average.
Compared to the D2AA, where I mean, you got a team coming from Memphis and you got a team going down to Chattanooga.
Yeah,
it's 7 against 170. So there you go.
That's wild. I mean, Baylor McCallie is right up there with game of the week. Obviously, two teams that absolutely hate each other. Baylor, David Gabriel Georges. He was Superman against McCallie the first time these teams played. Can you do it again? McCallie is really freaking good, though.
It's important to note, last year, Baylor won handedly in the regular season. In the state championship game, they hit McCallie with like 2 or 3 big, long passes in the first half and then tried to run the football, and they done so unsuccessfully, and they let McCallie hang around and win the football game because they refused to go back to throwing the football.
Chris and I are in the media room. We're just kind of working on stuff. We look up and it's like, oh, it's 20-0. Okay, Baylor doing what we thought. Oh, it's 20-0. Oh God, what's happening?
Right? Yeah, it happened just that quickly. And the thing about this game, this is only the third ever meeting between these two teams in the postseason that's not a championship game.
Yeah, because they usually take care of business and are on opposite sides of the bracket lately.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, the last time was in 2010, the quarterfinals. The previous time before that, 1997. So it's not been very often when these don't meet in the championship game. But that McCallie loss to Ainsworth shook everything up to where here we are in the semis.
Thank you, Ainsworth.
Thank you, Ainsworth.
And then the other side, I mean, can CPA slow down Brentwood Academy? Nobody's really been able to do it. BA's had a couple of close games recently. CPA getting back into form, and apparently they got the Terminator and Preston Patterson back last week. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough because this is the exact opposite of the way Ainsworth CPA went last week, where CPA is going to need to score a lot here. I don't know if that defense can slow down BA's offense.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if it's not the same situation with what Boyd's going to try to do and maybe take the air out of the ball and just control things. And can you? That if you can and finish drives, then we'll see.
Just an insanely good coaching matchup here. Ingle Martin and Paul Whitney, come on now.
Yes.
Yes.
That's two of the best coaches in the entire state in this game. And this is going to be a gigantic chess match, I'm thinking. Looking at how Rawls ran the ball last week, what they were missing was him driving the pile, and he would drive the pile, get those extra yards, those tough yards. You can tell he's not 100%, but I'll take a 75% Ross Patterson any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And Brentwood Academy, their defense, that's going to be just a really fun matchup. Just a really fun matchup.
Yeah, CPA's got to try to bring it all together. Agreed.
100%. Yeah.
CPA's got to bring it all together. They saw Lipscomb Academy, and they saw Cam Blivens, one of the best wide receivers in the state, in round one. They were able to withstand Cam Blivens. I won't say that they shut Cam down, but they were able to outscore Lipscomb. Mm-hmm. Last week against EJ Gibson, one of the best running backs in our area, if not the state. You saw them kind of out physical Ainsworth down the stretch. This weekend, CPA's got to do it all. They've got to be able to stop Kashawn Bowman. They've got to be able to stop Larry Sanders. They've got to be able to score some points. And then, of course, BA's in field goal territory when they cross midfield. So
EJ going down last week really killed Ainsworth.
Absolutely, because after that they could not run, not very much.
And BA, somebody pointed out on Instagram, Chris Marks did. BA has had a running clock in every home game this year.
Wow, I did not realize that. And I was there for two of them.
It gets people back to that tailgate a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Also, Engel Martin and Paul Wade have faced each other one time. That was last year. And CPA got the better of that matchup 31-24. So this is the second meeting between Engel and Paul Wade as head coaches.
Yeah. Well,
I think BA is significantly better than they were last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
also, can we talk about a team that's been starving to get to a championship game? BA,
oh my goodness,
they've been forever. And just that game a couple years ago where they got screwed. Plain and simple, they got screwed.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 2018 was the last time that BA would made a championship game appearance, so looking to break that streak.
Well, you might say that it came back to bite Ainsworth this time because if you look at that fumble, EJ may have been down.
Also, it's one of those situations where if CPA doesn't make it, it's going to feel wrong being in Chattanooga and CPA is not there.
It will.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, it's certainly a viable situation. That's still a fascinating game to keep an eye on just because of all the storylines surrounding it. But a lot of good quarterfinal and semifinal games this week for teams in this area for sure. All right, let's bring these up real quick. Let's talk real quick about AccuWorks. Water damage. It can be as small as a leaking faucet or as catastrophic as a flood. Regardless of the source, water damage wreaks havoc on your home or business's walls, floors, and furniture, and can lead to mold and other health risks. AccuWorks can start water damage restoration services immediately, removing all potential risks and restoring the affected areas. The experts at AccuWorks will determine the extent of the water damage in your property. We can handle any size of water breach, from a small plumbing malfunction to a major sewage backup or storm flooding. AccuWorks conducts water removal from your home using the most advanced equipment and techniques in the industry. And once your property is dry again, our restoration and remediation experts can also repair any lasting damage. There's no need to call another contractor for water damage restoration. AccuWorks handles everything from beginning to end. If you're in Nashville, Clarksville, Cookeville, or areas in between, it's time to call the water damage experts at AccuWorks. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. All right, guys. It is about that time where we have to make our picks for this week. It's who you got. This race is not much of one now.
Yeah, it's been I'll be honest with you guys. Had a really boring reign from our current champion. Just awful. Just the worst. And then this race has been. I will not be silenced.
Evidently,
I'm the
he will be.
silencer.
I'm going for second place.
I mean, what would you guys equate this to? I mean, you guys are NASCAR fans. Do I have a 6-second lead right now?
The reason they changed the format.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Which we will.
Secretariat.
Which
That's
spoilers,
2003, basically. all over.
spoilers. We're changing our format next year, going into championship week.
There you go. Actually,
Cam,
yeah, Scott.
Cam's
Scott,
had a
before we
great.
get Scott,
Cam's
before
had a
we
great-
get started, Scott, before we get started, we do need to talk about a couple of things sponsor wise before we go any further, real quick.
Yeah, we do. We really need sponsor for our Coach of the Year trophies or whatever our awards. Let's call it awards right now. We have the three groups: small, medium, and large divisions that we award, and we need sponsors for that, and we need them fairly soon. So if you know of a business that would like to have their name on the trophy, on the award, then reach out to us, 615preps@gmail.com, or just thank you, Chris. The other one we have that's really coming up is the Blue Cross Bowl coverage. The Blue Cross Bowl coverage, we also have that sponsorship for all the games. That gets you all 9, and that gets you on all of our social media posts and everything that we do while we're in Chattanooga covering the game. Those two things are of a major importance to us. We need the sponsorships to get the awards and to do some other things. Remember that all the funds go back into the program and back into our coverage. And as Cam is so fond of reminding you, we're not behind a paywall. We never want to be behind a paywall. We want to bring you this coverage and throw the spotlight on the kids, and we can only do that with the help of sponsors. So we thank our sponsors that we have now. They've been terrific. We just need some more people on our team.
Yep. That's it. That's the bottom line. Want to keep this going as best we can, and sponsor help is the best way to do that for sure. Again, 615preps@gmail.com for that information. We'll get back to you quickly. Or you can also DM us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever you've got social media as well. We'll pick up.
Send a homing pigeon.
Yeah, and just real quick on those Blue Cross Bowl coverage, guys, we can put your logo on our state championship photos for a super, super low price. So if you reach out to us and you want that done, we can put your logo on all 9. We cover all 9 statewide for the state championship games, and your logo can be on those state championship photos.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great coverage here in Middle Tennessee. It is what it is, but nobody has more fun than us. Nobody highlights these kids better than us, no matter what they say. And we're gonna keep doing it. Just need help. So
Yep. All right. So yeah, Matt has an interesting thought. Although Scott may not like to see that.
well, Scott's come back. I don't know if Scott's come back or if Connor's just fallen off.
Well, there's that. I mean,
why not both? Or Chris.
If you noticed,
relegated would be great.
If you notice, all of them but one, the interns have started sliding.
Yeah,
all of them but one.
The other one, he'll start sliding this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
there's one that's been missing. There's one that's been missing for a bit.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back. Actually,
Yeah. Get in here, KJ. Let's get this show on the road. Well, let's start with PGA and Boyd. Why not? Just go ahead and throw this out there. We are all on PGA, and for good reason.
I had a 10-point game here, and then I saw the comments that were made, and I said, "Oh, BGA is going to run him out of the stadium." Not close.
Yeah, I think Cam, you hit it right on the nose. There's no secret to what Boyd's going to try to do. But you know what? Everybody's tried to do that this year. Everybody, and only one of them really had any success, and that was in the second. They've had one bad half of football, really, and they played a harder schedule than Boyd. They've got, to me, it's all going to be on their line. Their line is tough. Their defensive line is tough. 97 tackles for loss, 36 sacks on the year, including 10 by Justice Pittman. When a defensive tackle is leading the team in sacks, you've got a tough defensive line.
Yeah. Well, you got to think. I mean, tag them. They got Nate Fleming, Justice Pittman, and then you got Aiden Woodruff. That's a sophomore that is, I mean, guys, he was at Ohio State a couple weeks ago. He was at Georgia.
Yep.
I mean, they're insanely talented. Maddox Porter's having a unbelievable freshman year. This BGA offense is just a juggernaut. I think they're too much for Boyd. I do think Boyd will have some success early, being the home team, but I think BGA pulls away and Boyd adds one late.
It's that time of the week again. The thing that some people tend to take out of context too. So this is a joke. Don't take it seriously.
Good Pasture produced Keenan Reynolds, who broke my heart during his time at Navy when Navy beat up on Notre Dame one year, and I just have not been able to forgive Good Pasture ever since. So
yeah, Good Pasture produced the person with the most rushing touchdowns in college football history.
No, a question for you. Why do you hate Brentwood?
There it is. There's the flip side.
We'll leave it there.
Hang up and listen. No, yeah, I do. I want to put a caveat on this. If weather does play a factor into this, obviously, BGA may be, a little bit slowed down, but I still think that the talent gap is too much. And
rain, snow, monsoon, hurricane, tornadoes, Wildcats by however many points I said, 36. You know what? That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a relatively good reason. So,
all right, CPA. Here's your motivation. Back-to-back weeks where we have all picked against you.
Yep. The glass slipper's in your hands. Go see if it fits.
To me, picking this game, like I said earlier, BA offensively, they've just been a machine all year. Nobody's really been able to stop them. And I just think they get it done here, even though I think CPA could make this a game.
Yeah, CPA's got a really, really good senior class. It's the reason why I've got this game really, really super close. It's easy to tell with their playoff run here that, they're not ready to be done, which makes them an extremely dangerous football team. But Brentwood Academy, what Larry Sanders, we talked about EJ Gibson being a Mr. Football semifinalist snub. Larry Sanders has had a great year as well. And BA is just so balanced. What Cruz Jenkins has been able to do throwing the football with Keshawn Bowman and a couple of those other receivers. Then you look on defense, and they have a freak in Kenneth Simon Jr. and Bennett Spillman. There's just so many dudes out there for BA. And CPA has put it together 2 weeks. So let's see if they can make it 3.
You said the magic word there, Bennett Spillman. I think that BA is bigger, and I think they're deeper in the trenches, and that's, I think, a big thing. Brentwood is a deeper team than CPA. I think they'll be a little more fresh. I do think Owen Cabell will have a big game on the slants, and they're going to have to button that down if they're BA. The linebacker's going to have to play really, really well. But with two of the best coaches out there, it's really going to be a chess match. I think Cruz Jenkins is kind of I think he's kind of the X factor in this game because of his ability to improvise, to be able to throw on the run, and to be able to run with the ball. I think he's the X factor in this game.
Scott, given the apology that our lovely, lovely followers will be able to watch at 9 o'clock, I'm truly shocked by this pick.
Considering that I did my penance, and if you go watch that video, you'll understand. Yeah, I understand that you're shocked, and I almost picked CPA in this game, but at some point when I'm sitting there in the freezing cold, I realized what was going to happen. I had to make my peace with it.
You know,
And
if they do pull it off, you know they're going to want a sequel, right?
Yeah, I don't know that. Unless somebody else wants to house me, because if I do anything like that again, I may end up having a room with somebody else.
This CPA team really reminds me of a Springfield team, the Springfield team from last year that just came in and surprised everyone. But I have it close as well because I think BH has been moving all year, and I just don't think it's going to stop this week.
Mm.
Interesting that you bring up that Springfield team, KJ.
Oh, yeah, exactly. To me, the first 12 minutes are critical for CPA. They need to drain clock as much as possible and keep BA's offense off the field. They can do that, get it into the second half within shouting distance, and they'll see about it. Their veteran leadership will keep them in this game. BA's talent level is undeniable, though, and I think at the end it does win out.
Matt, you have no idea.
Oh boy, we're just getting started here. We're not even close to that. East Robertson and Huntington's next, and we are all on the Indians this week.
Admittedly, I flip-flopped on this game quite a bit, though. Huntington, I know firsthand, is a place that's very hard to play. They're not going to throw the ball over on you a whole lot. They got a really balanced run game. I think they have about 4 players that have 8 touchdowns or more. It's going to be tough, and if the weather is not what it wants to be, then it's going to be an interesting game. This could be one of those games that Scott likes to say it could be over in an hour and a half, because I could see East Robertson running the ball really well as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to lean on Zach Groves. You saw that 19 carries for 207 last week. The last week, the regular season, had 3 touchdowns against East Nashville. There's no secret that East Robertson is going to lean on Zach, both offense and defensive wise. The difference, though, is East Robertson also has a legitimate weapon outside, really 2 weapons outside in Zay Groves and Cade Brooks, and then you can't forget Chris Groves either. So they have 3 weapons outside and a Mr. Football winner, in my opinion, and Cason Young at quarterback. So that's the reason why most of us think East Robertson's got a great chance to win a state championship this year. They're extremely deep for a 2A football team. Huntington's a really good program. It's a tough place to go play. East Robertson better be ready physically for this game, because Huntington likes to lean on you.
Yeah, Huntington's a very, very good defense. 131 tackles for loss. They have a defensive lineman, Taylor Strayhorn, with 23 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. They got another linebacker with 107 tackles and 6 sacks. They got a Brooks Bennett, another linebacker. Their linebackers are really, really good, and this is why the passing game is going to be so important, to be able to keep their linebackers off of Zach Groves. Loss of Caleb Neal is massive to me, because Zach plays both ways, and they really need him on defense to make stops and slow down Tyreek Hutch. So I think that all this is going to be hinge on their East Robertson's ability to stop the run, force Huntington to the air where Cade Brooks, Zay Groves can feast on the passes there.
Yeah, personally, I took. I don't know if y'all saw my predictions, but I said Cade and them. But I took them because I covered their game earlier in the season, and they've gotten better with defending the run. I felt like they struggled with Portland, but ever since, they've definitely gotten it together. And they're always one explosive play away from scoring. So it's really going to be hard to stop that.
Yeah, at this point of the season, too, you got to make sure that you dot I's and cross T's and make sure that the details are in place and avoid the mental mistakes of pre-snap and post-play penalties, because those are the killers this time of year. The hidden yardage matters, especially now in the postseason, and you can't be finding yourself behind the chains or giving teams first downs because of mental mistakes. That's where I think East Robertson just needs to make sure that they have that stuff tucked away, and if they do that, I think they do come out on top here.
I will say this: if Huntington wins and Milan wins, and West Tennessee gets the dog and pony show for the semis, that will be the place to be next Friday night. That would be an electric atmosphere.
Yeah. Green Hill in Oakland. I know Josh Crouch is already screenshotting this to make his point, which he should. But we're all in Oakland this week.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against the Kings until they're knocked off.
Yeah.
Look, if Green Hill wins, I don't think. Everybody here will be. We'll be thrilled for Green Hill and sad for Oakland. If Oakland wins, we'll be happy for Oakland, sad for Green Hill. You're both in our coverage area, and you're like I don't want to say you're like our children, but you know what I mean. We love everybody equally. But no, if Green Hill wants to win this game, they've got to run the ball and find a way to keep Oakland off the field offensively, which means Zach Cartwright, Cannon Burrows, move the sticks, take the air out of the ball, and then you have to force Oakland to make mistakes, something that they don't really do a whole lot of. With Craig Tutt and Justice Haggard in the backfield, it kind of feels like the Battle of the Alamo for the Hawks, but only if Santa Ana had home field advantage.
The thing is, though, I get what you're saying. I think Green Hill's best strategy here is not to take the air out of the ball. I think you got to throw against Oakland. Teams have been able to throw against that Oakland secondary. Cannon Burrows is going to be one of the better quarterbacks they played this year. And they got the receivers to give that secondary some fits. In situations like this, maybe you want to take the air out of the ball. I think Green Hill's strategy here is to just let his cannon throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to find the happy medium. I do think they need to throw the ball first. And you've seen teams like Rockville throw for almost 300 yards against Oakland. You saw Riverdale put a scare in Oakland, throwing the football to Luke Trich and Corbin Reynolds. I think that is the play, but it's also important that you keep Oakland honest. You cannot – Craig's going to be all over the field on defense, playing the Bronco role. He's going to come after Cannon on some blitzes. Craig will probably, if they try that little dump pass to the tight end in the middle of the field, that could be intercepted in this game. I think you don't need to think outside the box. Coach Crouch is great at doing that, and I think that's the approach offensively. You've got to trick plays, special teams. All of that has to be on the table this week. They have to do everything they can to flip this game. Oakland's going to do what Oakland does on offense. They're nowhere near as one-dimensional as they have been in the past. Cam Morton throwing the football has been really, really good for them this year. Joel White's come on strong at receiver for them. And then Giovanni Malone has had a great year for them as well. A couple of kickoff returns for him for touchdowns this year, so he's a threat too. But ultimately, Green Hill's got to find ways to steal plays and steal momentum in this game.
Yep. And I think, too, when you play Green Hill, they're a team that forces you to stay sharp just because of the threat of the trick play or stealing a possession with special teams. And this is kind of where Oakland really shines, is this part of the season where they have to be at their sharpest. I do think that Cannon Burrows is able to keep them in this game for quite a long time, but in the end, I took Oakland. I got to take the champs until somebody beats them. What about Gordonsville, Marion County? Joe, you take Marion County, and Tyson did as well. The rest of us are on Gordonsville.
Yeah, I just had to be different.
Dog.
Yeah, I had to be different.
Oaks, he didn't have Marion County when I picked my game.
This is one I did a coin flip on 5 times. Marion County won 3-2. Jay Foster's health scares me in this one. Don't know how healthy he's going to be. And this game being at Marion County is the difference for me. Yeah, but is he fully? Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be tough. I mean, going to Marion County is not easy. Just ask East Robertson last year.
Well, we're going to keep that information confidential. So, folks from Jasper, good luck. Maybe he's healthy, maybe he's not. But yeah, this is going to be a great football game either way. I think, as I said earlier, Gordonsville's been able to lean on the defense when the offense has not been there, and vice versa. Jasper is an extremely tough place to go play. I think Gordonsville scores late. They go for 2, and Will Skurlock punches it in the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, these two teams match up fairly well. Depending upon, a lot of it, like you guys said, rests on can Gordonsville throw the ball and what the condition of, what the quarterback can do, whichever one it is. They've only, what is it, that scored only under 21 points this year. One time, that was a win against Watertown. And defensively, this Tiger team is tough to score on. They've only allowed about 9.75 points per game. I think if they can stop or slow down Marion County's run game, I like it to be a close game, but I like Gordonsville to win.
I truly hope I'm wrong for what it's worth.
Complimentary football tends to win out this time of year. I think Gordonsville's very capable of playing it. And Marion County, very tough place to go play, but something about this Gordonsville team that I like. I'll take him on the road. We've all got FRA over Los Angeles home, too, looking to get back to the state championship game for the first time since 1991.
It's a FRA team on a mission. They felt like they should have been in the state championship game last year. Came up against their kryptonite in CPA. That's kryptonite's not there. Amari Sanders just way too much in this game for me.
Yeah, I think as good as Amari is, I think Mike Hassel is the difference. He allows FRA to not be one-dimensional. They've been ever since Jack Nimitz took over at quarterback at halftime of that BGA game. This offense has been a juggernaut for the most part. He wears number 2. He's a smaller stature quarterback. He looks and plays similar to a guy named Diego Pavia. It's very fun to watch. But at the end of the day, you got to have dudes. And Mike Hassel and Amari Sanders are those dudes. And FRA is extremely talented up front as well. So I think FRA finds a way to get it done.
Well, I think Mike Hassel is a factor, but I think both he and Sanders are a factor on the defensive side here. I think that their defense is better, and I think that their special teams are better, and therefore, as Chris, you're fond of saying, a well-rounded team. With the emergence of Jack Nimitz at the quarterback position, they are a much, much better, well-rounded team in all phases of the game. And I think that coming out party against BGA, ever since then, they have played pretty well. They've had lapses, but they played pretty well. I think that they're going to look at Lausanne, they're going to see BGA, and I think that that FRA, they're going to be able to come out on top.
3 straight years where they've reached at least the quarterfinals, the last 2 in the semifinals. This will be their 3rd straight semifinal appearance. It's time to get over the hump, and I think this is the group to do it. They've worked for this all year long, and just a talent difference here as well with and especially with Nimitz and Amari Sanders and Mike Hassel. 2-0 and 20 get it done for FRA, and I think that they take this one handily. Maryville goes over to Blackman, and we've got the Rebels taking this one, but I like it close. I think Blackman does keep this interesting.
I do too. I would love to see Blackman pull this one off. I would, and I really wanted to pick them. It came close, but Maryville is just so good in all phases of the game, and I know that Cam touched on it earlier. Will Jones is playing at such a high level. Is this Will Jones? I have that right, Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's such a threat, and he does such a great job improvising. The Blaze going to have to play incredibly patient, controlled football, and not get emotional, get out of control. They have to be patient. They have to not make bad penalties or turnovers. And Javion Elvis going to have a very, very solid game.
Yeah, I think the difference in this game has to be Jabari Kemp. You saw him, I think it was last week or the week before last, he rushed for like 125 yards and a couple scores. I think he's the difference maker because he's going to take that pressure off Javion. Javion cannot do everything by himself offensively. I do think Blackman's defense is good enough up front with James Stewart. They're good enough in the secondary with Jaden Lark and a couple of those, Braylon Odor, a couple of those other guys. Extremely talented on the defense side of the ball for Blackman. Can they find enough offense? They have to have a good game from Jabari Kemp to open things up for Javion Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a big dumb idiot. I don't know why I spaced on that. I'm stupid.
Chris is always prepared.
We need T-shirts for those guys. I mean, I think merch is starting to become an idea.
Blackman's well aware of our picks now. For what it's worth, James Stewart is watching on Instagram. So
yeah, they'll be ready.
James, go wreak havoc, buddy.
Yeah,
and don't hurt me.
I need. You got to be consistent offensively to beat Maryville in this type of game. There's a reason they're a powerhouse, and I'd love to see Blackman win. I just think Maryville gets it done, and we get a open Maryville semifinal yet again.
Yeah, Maryville's no stranger to coming to Murfreesboro for games in the postseason. But this is the first time they will have come to Blackman to play them. They played 3 times before, but all have been at Maryville. 2013, 2015, 2016, that those two teams squared off in the postseason.
Make sure you're actually on the guest list.
Yeah.
All right. Pearl Cone at Marshall County. Pearl's going to get their shot at Marshall County. They won it again. We got Pearl winning on the road.
Isaac said, F Marshall County, man. 55-21. Good Lord.
He says they take out the revenge.
Connor did too. Goodness gracious, guys.
They're seeing what Scott mentioned earlier. Pearl Cone could have got a wake-up call last week.
Yeah. For what it's worth, Marshall County, much better than Crockett County, in my opinion. I like this Marshall County team. Them playing at home is a difference maker. I think that's what really keeps it close. Tyler Thompson's a heck of a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Great quarterback matchup in this one. I just think Pearl Cone defensively, they have more players, and I think Landon left. I think he gets a big return here, and that's the difference.
He's a game changer, man. Landon is such a game changer, and this is a revenge game for Marshall County. Pearl put them out last year after Marshall County beat Pearl in the regular season. So
every time you kick the Landon, you're one step closer to losing.
Pearl, oh yeah, you're right, Cam. I heard you wrong. My bad. I'm a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, Marshall County's been lighting it up lately. They've been averaging almost 50 points per game, allowing only 9. But, they've only beaten 2 teams with winning records this season. They beat a 7-4 Columbia team in week 4 and a 9-3 Dyer County team last week. Otherwise, their opponents have gone a combined 22-56. Okay.
Yeah. It just real quick, we talk about Landon left. We mentioned it on Saturday. A little bit of a joke here. Hey, kick it left. Way the freak left. If you're Marshall County.
Left of left. If you need to.
Yeah.
In the stands.
I just don't think that Marshall County has played a team with this much athleticism, especially up front and in the backfield. Landon left, Omarion Starnes and Landon left are pretty doggone good 1-2 punch. And left is really not running the ball that much. It's really kind of been Lance Donaldson. But he always seems to find the end zone, whether it be on defense or whether it be a punt return. And then, Joe, you said earlier, LJ Funk is just playing at a different level than he did earlier in the year. And his big receiver, Steven Salter, 6'2", 170, big wide receivers. And then Makai Mache, the 6'4", 200-pound defensive end. with 6 sacks, and then he's bookended by Carmelo League, another 6'2" defensive end. I mean, Pearl has got some freak athletes, and I don't think Marshall County has seen anything like that this year.
Into the Borough we go again. USJ at PCA in the D2 single A semifinal. Is it KJ and Scott are taking PCA to win?
I like those colors together. Very UCLA-ish.
It does, yeah.
Me personally, taking PCA is I picked against them last week. I didn't want to do it again. I also want to beat Joe. So there we go, PCA.
Yeah, I saw PCA, and they have some athletes, and one of them is Sean Burkhofer, and he's incredible on defense. He's a great fullback. I think they've just got the athletes to be able to play with him. Yeah, it's a little bit of a underdog pick, but every week there seems to be an underdog out there. I just happen to think that this is going to be PCA's week.
I'd love to see PCA win this game. However, they're playing a team in USJ that, while it's been a couple of years, they've been in this spot before. New coaching staff, it is what it is. Like Caden Creech a lot, their quarterback's thrown for 33 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and they got a great running back right behind him that's rushed for 1,700 yards, or almost 1,900 yards at this point. So I just think USJ a little more balanced. They're going to give PCA some fits, especially on that turf, but could be another high-scoring game. But I think PCA finds a way to keep it close. I just like USJ in the end.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add to that, Joe. You pretty much right on it for me. Would love to see PCA pull this off, and I almost did take him, but I think USJ may just be a little bit too much for this one. Again, love to see it. But
it's the same. PCA has a unique advantage this week of they can literally bring the same game plan over. It's very USJ and Friendship are very similar in my opinion. So I mean, you bring it straight over. You're the underdog here. I think shootout is your only way to win the football game, and you've been able to do that multiple times this year against multiple opponents. So it's going to be interesting to see if PCA has one more in them.
That's going to bring us to the one everybody wants to see picked, Beach and Page. And before we do, let's see who our special guest picked this week.
Down to the end of it right now. Big game this week as the Beach Buccaneers travel to Page to take on the Patriots. And our boy Butchie is going to make his pick right now. And Butch has decided that he's taking the Beach Buccaneers. There you go, Butch.
Well, Butch can join Isaac as the ones that are siding with Beach this week.
KJ, you got some splaining to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Guys, y'all know I'm a homer through and through. I love the Bucks. Page is just Page, guys. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, they've been doing this for the last 5 years. They know they've been here. Beach gets stuck in this spot every year. I'm gonna make the safe pick and pick Page.
I don't know. Safety for the pick is one thing. Safety for yourself may be something completely different.
I got armed security, guys. I'm good. If I want to go back to the shack.
Well, I was just going to say, if we need to, you should have got the haircut and then gone into witness protection.
KJ, you're well aware that if they make it state, you cannot pick Beach at this point. You can't.
I don't. Is that true? Because I feel like whoever wins this game is the winner. Like this is the state championship game.
You're gonna have to own it. You're gonna have to own it.
for me,
Yeah.
this comes down to the fact that I don't want to, Munford gave Beach a game last week, and Munford's very good, and Munford has a very good running back. Somebody said no way we're giving up 45. That is a lot of points.
A ton of points.
Yeah.
You gave up 38 to Green Hill.
Okay. Austin, I'll be honest with you. Page is better than Springfield. But I like Cameron Cruzy in this game. I think he's the difference. I think Page has got the best quarterback they've had in some time, and they've got a three-headed running backfield, and I really like the Page offensive line.
Yeah, this game is going to be extremely fun to watch if you love physical warfare. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And both of these teams, I've said it. I think I've said it on the show, but I know I've said it off the show. If Beach does what Beach should do offensively, there's one team in 5A football that can stop them, and it's Page. It's that simple. If Beach does what they need to do, there's one team that can stop them. And I'm not saying that they will stop them. I'm saying they can stop them. If Beach tries to get cute at all in this game, Page will win this football game by multiple scores.
Truthfully, I see this as a trench game. And the offensive line, defensive line of Page is just so big. They're so massive. And they're very talented. And yes, I know that there is talent on the Beach side. It's definitely the matchup is going to be and I'm not sure who's going to be on him, whether it might be Curl against DK Williams, and I'm not sure. And on the defensive side,
it's going to be the guards.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's going to be the guards.
And Fuchs against Jacob Rathbone. Either way, I think that's where it's going to be. But Mumford put up 348 yards and averaged 7.1 yards per carry last week, despite being really a one-dimensional offense. You knew they were going to run, and they ran over Beach. Page is multi-dimensional. They can run the ball. They've got two really good running backs in Ote and Pierre. But I honestly believe that the two wild cards in this game are both going to come from the wild card slot, Jeremy Lasker and Caden Ackerman. And I just think that Page has just got too many weapons against Beach this week.
I see all these scores and I see all these points up here, and I'm starting to wonder that this may be too many points for me.
This is Oregon Auburn.
Because Page hasn't given up more than 17 points in the game in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up 21 to Green Hill on August 29th. They gave up 34 to Giles County way back in week 1 where it doesn't matter anymore. Each gave up 38 to Green Hill back in week 1 when it doesn't matter anymore. They've given up a few more since then, but both these defenses are really good. And I do see this kind of being more of a slow it down and grind it out game, especially with it being a TV game and the stoppages, and you actually get a little bit more rest. You can go right back to pounding the ball up the middle or to the outside.
I believe Beach has scored 30-plus in every game except 2.
Yeah, and I look at that list of teams they played, and I see where's the defense in any one of them. Upperman's probably the best defense they played since East Nashville.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 34-24, I think, might be generous. I think we may see this in the 20s.
Well, especially with weather.
In any event, though, this game I think lives up to the expectations. Yeah, I got it a 10-point game, but probably not. Probably closer than that.
Yeah. We've said this, talking about this. The Beach kids are super excited that they finally got this game.
Yeah.
It's another game for Page. This is just another game for Page.
And that's something else. They're so amped up for it. You have to be concerned about them going too far. Because you get so jacked up for a game, and then you make a mistake early on. You make a personal foul early on in the game, and you have to bring it back in.
Beach has got to make this the game that Independence didn't make it in the second half. against Page.
Yeah.
They very well could. They got the better personnel to do it. Page is just, they're a different animal this year, man. And to see Mumford rush for as well as I understand it's the single wing. I understand it is what it is. You're facing the best offensive line you've seen all year and the best skill guys you've seen all year in Page. Plain and simple.
Yep. But at the end of the day, if Beach does what they need to do offensively, they'll be in the football game just because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have to be physical. They have to run the football first. Caden Powell's got to have 15 carries. Chelton Swafford's got to have 10-plus carries. Hell, even DK's probably got to have 10-plus carries. They have to 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, be physical up front, lean on that offensive line. It's going to be hard to do against a Page team that's going to load the box. One thing that we've not talked about really with Page is, guys, they lost 2 outstanding linebackers, and they replaced them with 2 other guys that's going to be up for all-area team. They're extremely talented.
Yep. Cameron Cruzy is the difference here for me, because when Beach has played really good quarterbacks, they've given up quite a bit of points this year. You look at the upper – I know they beat Upperman 42-27. It is what it is. But Green Hill, Cannon Burrows had no issues. Dallas Covington, it was a 22-19 game. Dallas Covington carved up that secondary a little bit. Page is better than all those teams. They just are. Cruzy's better than those guys right now. He just is. And he doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, it's going to be important to when Beach is trying to run the football early, and Page is going to be – that's when that Page defense is going to be the toughest. You cannot abandon the run. You get down 7-0, you get down 10-0. You cannot abandon the run. You can't get down and panic. You have to stick to the game plan.
DK Williams had 19 tackles last week. I think he gets 20-plus this week.
It's very possible.
Pressure. Yeah. He's going to be another dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's
and he's really showed out the last couple of weeks.
And all the Beach kids commenting on Instagram, like, cool, prove it, man. Like, that's the point of this. Like,
right, yeah.
We got to make picks. One of these teams has given us a reason to pick them for the last 4 years.
Yeah. The other hasn't.
I'm hoping it's as good a game as it's billed. I'm hoping that it is as good a game as we have been wanting.
It better be, or I'm going to be hella pissed on Saturday.
I'm pissed that you just said.
Well, but I mean,
daggone.
This was a game where I tried to find reasons to pick Beach, and I just kept coming back to the depth in every position that Page has. Mm-hmm. It's just the talent they have at every position is what they built there. So, I mean, Beach, if you take umbrage to this, go out there and beat them on their home turf.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Go win.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't this?
I would love to apologize.
Wasn't this the spot they were in last year though, against Springfield? Just saying.
Yeah.
Got caught looking ahead.
But there's no looking ahead now. What you've got, what you wanted is right in front of you. You
got somebody wanting, since we've talked about these games, East Nashville, Milan.
Yeah, well, we wanted to touch on a few others too. So
it's an intriguing matchup. It's going to come down to, can East Nashville, because I do think Jaden Pete's going to carry the ball 20 times in that game. Can East Nashville stop the run, and can Dallas Covington play sound? I mean, the thing is with that East Nashville offense is when they don't turn the football over, they're really good. When they turn the football over and they have 10 penalties, they work against themselves. If they can play fundamentally sound, East Nashville will be in the football game with a chance to win it.
I agree. I honestly believe we've not seen anything close to what East Nashville's capable of doing with the talent that they have and the good coaching that they have. And it always seems that they have a mistimed turnover, or penalties that put them behind the sticks, and then they're playing catch up with a couple of really brilliant plays that would have been in the end zone had they not been, behind the sticks. If they can put together a clean game and keep up, it may come down to the last team with the ball. But
for what it's worth, just looking at our picks, we're fairly split on this one. We got 5 picking from Milan and 3 picking East Nashville.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do something a little different. Let's go through all the games with all of our area teams since there's not that many of them left over. Let's just go ahead and do them all.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll start with Centennial and Henry County since that's the first one on our list.
Yeah, could be a really good one. We hit on it a little bit earlier. That's another long road trip for Centennial. Henry County is a different beast at home, as KJ knows. It's going to be we're kind of split on that one. 3 picking Centennial, the rest everybody going Henry County.
Yeah, I'm riding Mitchell Grant and Jean's bus all the way to the semifinals. I picked them last week. I said on Saturday I was going to pick them again. I wasn't about to go against my word. And as Mitchell likes to say, walk in your trap, take over your trap. So, hey.
He made me a believer. And I actually picked Centennial in this game as well. We saw them earlier in the season, and I thought that given the circumstances that there would be issues, that they might lose focus. For whatever reason, in credit the coaching staff, this team appears to be quite focused. And I think Henry County is vulnerable.
Yeah, I just think I don't know if Henry County is vulnerable, man. They've played really well since that Page loss, and I don't know, just going there, such a different ball game. They're playing really well, and they beat a Nolensville team last week that I thought would have no issues beating Henry County. They're playing really good ball, and they're playing kind of like what Henry County does this time of the year.
Yeah.
Centennial's been playing with house money though, as well the last couple of weeks, and arguably now they may give up 40 this week. The defense has played pretty well throughout the postseason. They gave up a ton of yards to Station Camp, but they were able to get a couple stops and force 2 missed field goal opportunities for Station Camp.
Yeah. Centennial's been playing lights out, of course, but it is very difficult to go into Paris and win. I know from personal experience that is a tough place to win at. So I picked Henry County this week.
Got to travel all the way across the Atlantic.
Feels like it.
I think I was at that game you were in.
I too took Henry County, but I did consider picking Centennial on this one. They have just played a different brand of ball the last 5 weeks, and they certainly have earned their spot in the quarterfinals. And that offense is still playing really, really well with Mitchell Grant playing the best ball of his career. And I don't know. I felt like the fourth quarter that Henry County put up against Nolensville last week was the difference in me picking this one. So taking the home team just because it's a tough place to go.
Just a reminder that KJ picked Page with that jersey hanging in the background.
I'm always going to be a Buck, guys. Like, I don't, I just have to make a good decision. And if I beat Joe, that would be like the greatest accomplishment in my 615 Preps career, guys.
I get that. I can respect that. At some point, you got to be a grown-up.
The man is wanting to finish second.
I mean, last year I didn't even compete.
I mean, silver is better than bronze.
Yeah, that's just true.
Chris heard me. Sounds like an Arsenal fan.
Hell, KJ, you can be third, you can be fourth. Hell, you can even be fifth.
All right, let's go Ravenwood Whitehaven next up.
Too much Femi, too much Maverick. I think Matthew Anderson is in for a big game. I agree with Cam. He should have been Mr. Football semifinals. Kid's had an outstanding year. Just pure team speed. I really like what Ravenwood has. I don't know if Whitehaven is going to be able to match up well with them at all.
Yeah, I just think Ravenwood they're so unique offensively, being able to rotate quarterbacks, being able to really change what they want to do. They can get physical. They can spread you out and beat you by 1,000 cuts. defensively, they're just solid. They don't give up a lot of big plays. They make you earn it. I think Ravenwood goes to Memphis, gets a big win.
Yeah, gets the barbecue on the way back. No, I honestly believe that Ravenwood is a team of destiny, and they are destined to get to Chattanooga. I'm thinking that if everybody's right and Santa and everybody's good and Santa likes you and you're on the list, that it's going to be an Oakland Ravenwood final in Chattanooga.
That's one we've been waiting on for a couple of years too.
Mhm.
And as Joe said, 05, 15, 25.
If you're into that sort of thing, the numbers would line up. So, Ravenwood got their pound of flesh on Houston after losing to them last year. And I think this is a good opportunity for them to just refocus. Sometimes a road trip can not be a bad thing. You just go out and go play ball. You don't have to worry about distractions. You load on the bus and you just go. And this is too talented of a team to let that get in the way of playing their best ball right now when they need to. So that's why I took Ravenwood as well.
It's a team that went to Mississippi week 1, rallied, and picked up a big win on the road. Their traveling's nothing to this group.
They know how. They know how. Springfield at South Gibson, Joe, you're headed on the road.
Yeah. I just think Springfield defensively, they'll be just fine. You really got to open up this defense. You got to pass the ball. You got to get those. You got to get the linebackers off because they will tear you up. It's what Pearl did. Pearl matches up really well against Springfield. I think Springfield matches up well with them too, but not looking forward to next week yet. South Gibson's so one-dimensional. Lexington was one-dimensional. Cam, you and I saw that firsthand. Lexington had one really good drive, well, two, with varsity drives against the varsity defense. They had one really good drive, and it ended with a 100-yard pick six. South Gibson only threw the ball once last week against Spring Hill. Springfield's a little different. I think Springfield wins this game by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, and it just comes down to that older style offense. You got to follow your cues. You can't overcommit if you're a linebacker. You got to stay in position. You got to stay home. Expect the unexpected with reverses and traps and whatnot. Just play fundamentally sound defense, and Springfield's going to be fine here.
Yeah, I think that Kason Woodson is just to me is the straw that stirs the drink here. Offensively, there's a ton of talent behind him on the at the wide receiver, Jermaine Cobbins, but he is an X factor because he can, you cover his receivers, he's going to beat you with the run. He runs a really good ball fake. He reads defenses well. I think offensively he's hard to stop, and defensively, if you're not going to throw the ball, they're going to bring guys down in the box, and they are going to stuff the run. I like Springfield, and I like Springfield big.
I like. I think Cortavius Herring and Barrett Reynolds are the game changers here. Those two have been really, really good the last couple of weeks. They blew up Lexington quite a bit last week, and then
inside backers.
Yeah. Well, Herring's on the line. He's 69, number 69.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, he's a beast. But kind of along those lines as what Scott just said, Kason, just passing the ball, he's gotten so much better, but his legs are a difference maker too. That just opens up that offense, gets Lamarius Dallin going. And a guy Cam and I saw last week, Amarian Level, Slim Level's cousin. He's going to be a beast.
Yep. Nice. We have crossed the top of the hour at 9:00. Our CPA apology videos on YouTube right now if you want to go see it, but hang around for a couple minutes before we finish up, before you go there. One more. It's Trinity Christian at Nashville Christian.
Yeah, we hit on it a little bit. I think TJ Ward goes for 200 yards. I think Nashville Christian puts up a ton of points, gives up a few points. I'll go, say, 42-21.
Jared Curtis is Thanos. TJ Ward is Thanos. Nashville Christian is Thanos. They're inevitable.
Yeah, I think Trinity Christian keeps us close for about a half. And then second half is just way too much TJ Ward. Way too much Jared Curtis, especially with his legs. he reads and the way he toys with people that are chasing him. I mean, he expends only the effort he needs, and I mean, he is economical in every facet of the game.
Jackson Christian kept this close last week for a while, but again, that type of game plan when you're trying to take the air of the ball, it's only good until you got to punt twice. Once you do and get behind multiple scores, then you're chasing everything, and TCA cannot afford to get down early by multiple scores. If they do, then the snowball comes, and that's the avalanche you don't want. But I'm afraid it's coming.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it. Loaded show tonight. We're past 2 hours. We got a big crowd tonight. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Let's Scott, before we get out of here, I know we mentioned sponsorship earlier. Let's do that one more time before we go.
Yeah. Again, need sponsors for our Coach of the Year awards, small, medium, and large class. If you have questions about which schools are in those, I mean, if you are only interested in doing one or so, we can do that, or two. Of course, there'll be a bigger discount for having your logo on all three. But yeah, we are looking for sponsors there. Reach out to us at that email, and then Blue Cross Bowl coverage. As Cam said, we can put your logo on the watermark on all our photos. You would be on all our socials. We're covering all 9 games in Chattanooga. We'll be in Chattanooga for all 9 games. So yeah, absolutely. We need sponsors to finish up. And if you're interested in basketball sponsorship, hit me up and we can talk about that.
Yeah, good stuff tonight, guys. Let's get out of here. KJ, I'm going to let you do the honors and lead off tonight.
Guys, it's going to be a big week. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast. Miss coming back and doing this. Beach, please don't kill me. And a message to every fan. I have to say this every year. Kids are playing their last game, and that is a pain that hurts so bad. So pick up a player. Don't be rude, and have good sportsmanship, guys.
Cammy took your line.
Yeah, he did. I'm okay with that. It's ditto. I think all of us support that. I'm excited to get out to FRA. I haven't been to FRA since I was a very, very young man watching the Trouser County game at FRA. So super excited to get out up on the hill, as they say, and hopefully get to see FRA punch their ticket for the first time since '91. All of their kids that are in school from kindergarten through senior have not seen their team play for a state championship. It's a special moment. It's something that will, I said earlier, make school history. They will be remembered forever if they win this football game on Friday night, and they'll be remembered forever if they lose it too. But we're looking at the positive side of things. But yeah, I'm just trying to finish the job.
Yeah, episodes of Into the Hive are going to come out early, probably on Sundays now, just because they're more game focused. Thinking have at least 2 more of those, and then we'll see what happens in the state championship. Excited to follow Springfield out to Medina. On a more personal note, unlike Cam, who his team has just fallen off a cliff in recent years, and KJ, whose team is actually still playing, to my guys back in Indianapolis in the 317, Warren Central with a chance to do the unthinkable, shock nationally ranked Brownsburg for a trip to play in the state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium. As Cam says, win the daggone game. Please give me something to cheer about. But yeah, good luck to the Warriors. If you win, I will be in Indianapolis on their Saturday after Thanksgiving and may have something of that. So win the daggum game and do the damn thing, boys.
Earlier today, I saw a story about a high school coach that went 6-4. his team was voted, the most, the best example of sportsmanship. And they made the playoffs, and then he got fired. What I want you guys to remember, all as fans, winning's important. We're talking about winning. Go win the dang game and all that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, coaches are there to influence young men, and in football, in other sports, it's students. Okay, not just think it's male related, but we can't lose sight of that. Wins and losses, yeah, that's what we're playing for. But we cannot forget that these coaches are molding the future. And we need to take that into consideration, because we have some really, really good coaches that are sometimes not in the best situations, but they are doing tremendous work raising our kids, raising or teaching our kids. And for that, I'm very thankful with the quality of coaches we have here in the mid-state.
That's well said. I know that we have a lot of inside jokes and joke a lot around this on the show, and it's all good fun. And Joe says this a lot, and I'm going to repeat it. Yeah, we got to pick games. It's not personal. It never is. If you need it as motivation, go for it. Use it. Glad to give it to you. This is entertainment. This is information. It's really nothing more than that. At the end of the day, if you're playing this week, you're a damn good football team, and nobody can take that away from you. So if somebody's prediction or a pick gets you off kilter, dial it back a little bit, please, because don't let it get in your head. You got a job to do. Go out there and play the game. I mean, it's all good fun until somebody takes it too personally. And I want all these teams to play their best ball right now, because it's better for the fans. It's a better product for us. It's a better product all around if you're playing your best game. If you're off your game now, you're going home. It's plain and simple. So go out there, lock in, play for the guy next to you, because the name of the front is always more important than the name of the back, and go get it done. It's your time. Go take it. And with that, it's the biggest audience we've had since we started this. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We went a little longer than usual, and I guess maybe something to that. So we'll take that under advisement. For everybody here at 615 Preps, for Joe, for Cam, for KJ, for Scott, I'm Chris. 9 o'clock Saturday morning for the 615 Prep Score. Make sure you join us there. We've got highlights. We'll have scores. We'll have updated brackets, the whole 9 yards, like we usually do on the 615 Prep Scoreboard, presented by AccuWorks. And join us a week from tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. 615 Preps Live is back again to get you ready for Black Friday football. It's almost here. So enjoy the games this weekend. There's going to be some good ones. Get out to the game. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Fingers crossed. Not going to win, whatever you got to do. But until then, enjoy the games. We'll see you Saturday. Y'all take care.
Happy birthday, Erica.